I have no issue with women being upset with Donald Trump being our president and people saying he's misogynist, people saying he's a womanizer, people upset with quotes of his from the past or more recent quotes and things like that. And if women want to protest over that, certainly that's their right to peacefully protest. And I can understand why different women have concerns. But here's what galls me. There is a certain hypocrisy on the left, and that's what galls me. I remember when Israel was at war with Hamas terrorism, and there were rallies across America against Israel. And some of the prominent people leading these rallies or participating in these rallies were gays and lesbians. And I thought, how utterly ironic. If they were there in Gaza, Hamas would put them to death or imprison them for being who they were, or certainly for marching, whereas in Israel, they'd have all the rights they wanted, and even have gay pride, right? A gay pride march in Jerusalem. So I find it so hypocritical in the same way when you have some prominent women involved in the women's protest march against Donald Trump, one woman in particular with ties in the past to Hamas. So here she is, a Muslim woman with ties in the past to Hamas, and she's going to be protesting Donald Trump. The utter hypocrisy of it. There was a women's protest march against Trump in Berlin, and some of the crowd was chanting Allahu Akbar. Now, if they're Muslim women and they have a problem with Donald Trump, fine, whatever. Maybe they're having it because they're Muslims. But the idea that Donald Trump is this terrible, horrible figure who hurts women and whose words hurt women and whose very image hurts women, and you're going to have Muslim women, some with ties to groups like Hamas, heavily involved in these protests and others shouting Allahu Akbar, the utter irony and even hypocrisy over it. Where are the honor killings that Donald Trump supports? Where is the subjugation of women and a whole culture that he supports? How many women have prominent roles in his companies in the past or now being raised up in his campaign or in his administration? Prominent roles and the honoring of his wife and the honoring of his daughter and all these other things. Whereas in Islam, there is a wholesale subjugation of women in many aspects of the culture, especially the more radical it gets. So if women have a problem with Donald Trump, I understand it. I'm not arguing with a right to peacefully protest. Muslims can peacefully protest Donald Trump as well. It's the hypocrisy of it that I find utterly, absolutely galling.